Hello students, in last class we already discussed about how a magnetic force acts on a moving charge present in an external magnetic field, and due to the effect of magnetic force, when the angle between the velocity of the charge and the magnetic field strength are parallel or anti-parallel, there will be no effect of the magnetic force. And when the direction of velocity of the moving charge and the external magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, the particle starts moving in a circular path having certain radius. And when there is any arbitrary angle between the direction of velocity of the charge and the external magnetic field, then the path of the moving charge is a helical path, or it's moving in a helix. And the pitch and the radius of the helical path we already discussed about it. So let us now try to solve some numericals based upon the application of the motion of a charge in an external magnetic field. So first of all, we have to remind the formulas regarding the motion of a moving charge in an external magnetic field. So the first formula for the force, magnetic force Fm, is given as Q V B sin theta in scalar form. Q is the amount of charge, V is the velocity of the or speed of the charge, B is the magnetic field strength with which the charge is moving, and theta is the angle between the direction of B and V. And in vector form it can be given as F vector is equal to Q into V cross B, where V cross B is the cross product of velocity vector and magnetic field strength. So from this, if theta equal to 0 or pi, Fm equal to 0, there will be no magnetic force acting on the moving charge. If theta equal to 90, Fm is maximum, that is QVB, and from this we get QVB is equal to the centripetal force for which the charged particle is rotating in a circular path. So this implies radius equal to mv by QB, and this gives the time period equal to 2 pi r by V, which is equal to 2 pi m by QB. This implies 1 by t equal to frequency, which is equal to QB by 2 pi m. And from this you can get omega equal to 2 pi f. This implies omega equal to QB by m. Okay, and if it's move in it, if theta is equal to any angle theta, then F equal to QVB sin theta, as like this. If V equal to along this direction, B is along this direction, this angle is theta. So force is acting, these have two components, one is along the direction of B, that is V cos theta, and another component is perpendicular to this, that is V sin theta. So due to V sin theta it starts moving in a circular path, and due to V cos theta it's moving in a linear path. So the resultant will be a helical path like this. So radius will be mv sin theta by QB, and the pitch is equal to V cos theta into 2 pi m by QB. So we are already discussing about all these things. So today, based upon these formulas, let's calculate some numericals. And we know, due to the magnetic force, the work done on a moving charge is always 0, as F is the resultant of the cross product of V and B, like this. Fm is equal to Q into V cross B. That means this force is always perpendicular to this product. That means the plane containing velocity and B vector, the force, magnetic force, is always perpendicular to this, as this is the product of these two cross products. That's why the force is always perpendicular to velocity, so it's always perpendicular to displacement. That means work done due to magnetic force on a moving charge is always zero, as angle between the displacement and applied force is 90 degree. Clear? So now let's do a numerical, that is a particle of charge 4 coulomb or microcoulomb moves in an external uniform magnetic field with velocity 2I cap minus 6j cap 2I cap minus 6j cap meter per second, due to which it experiences force 5I cap minus cj cap Newton. Find the value of C. Okay, particle of charge 4 microcoulomb is moving in an external uniform magnetic field with velocity is given as 2I cap minus 6j cap meter per second, due to which it experiences a force of 5I cap minus c j cap Newton. Find the value of C. So how to solve this? So as the formula is known to us, the magnetic force is equal to Q into V cross B. That means the magnetic force is always perpendicular or resultant of the V velocity vector and magnetic field strength. So as the force is perpendicular to these two vectors, so from this we can write, so we can get the dot product of magnetic force and velocity vector will be how much? 0, as Fm is perpendicular to V. Okay, because this is the force, and from this we get Fm is perpendicular to both V and V, the plane containing V and V. That means as F is perpendicular to V, so the dot product of force and velocity will be how much? 0, because F is perpendicular to V and we know cos 90 equal to 0. So by using this, so F dot V is equal to how much? What is the value of force? 5 I cap minus c j cap dot. What is the value of velocity? 2 I cap minus 6 j cap must be equal to 0 as they are perpendicular. So this implies 10 minus 6c, sorry, minus plus 6c equal to 0. So this implies c equal to minus 10 by 6 or minus 5 by 3. So this is the value of C, because as force into velocity must be equal to 0. So force is 5 I cap minus c j cap dot, velocity is 2 I cap minus 6 j cap. So the dot product will be 5 into 2, 10 minus c into minus 6 plus 6c equal to 0. This implies c equal to minus 10 by 6 or minus 5 by 3. Clear? Next question. Sorry. A charged particle of 2 coulomb is moving with velocity v vector equal to 2I cap plus 2j cap meter per second in an external magnetic field B vector, external magnetic field B vector equal to 3 I cap minus 6 k cap Tesla. Find the magnetic force acting on the charged particle. Okay, so a charged particle of 2 coulomb is moving with velocity v equal to 2I cap plus 2j cap. Okay, 2I cap plus 2j cap meter per second in an external magnetic field B equal to 3j cap minus 6 k cap Tesla. So find the magnetic force acting on the charged particle. So what will be the answer? As we know, the magnetic force is equal to Q V cross B. Here Q equal to 2 coulomb, V vector equal to 2I cap plus 2j cap meter per second and B vector is equal to 3j cap minus 6 k cap Tesla. So using this here we will get the magnetic force Fm will be equal to 2 into 2I cap plus 2j cap cross 3j cap minus 6 k cap Newton. Clear? This is equal to 2 into this cross this 2I cap cross 3j cap minus 6 k cap. So what we will get? 2I cap cross 3j cap 2 into 3 6 I cross j equal to k, so 6 k cap minus 6 into 2 12 I cross k equal to minus j, k cross I equal to j, you know cyclic I cap j cap k cap, I cross j equal to k, j cross k equal to I, k cross I equal to j. Clear? Because I cross j equal to ij sin theta, the angle between I and j is 90 degree and sin 90 is 1. So I is a unit vector, j is a unit vector, so its product will be I mod j mod sin theta n cap. N cap is the unit vector which is perpendicular to this, that will be k. We know in the calculation of cross product of unit vectors, I j k, I cross j equal to k, j cross k equal to I, k cross I equal to j. This is the cyclic process. So here I cross j will be k, that is 6k cap. Again I cross k, k cross I will be j, so I cross k equal to minus j. So 2 into 6, 2 into 6 equal to minus 12, 2 into minus 6, minus 12 into minus j cap plus 2 into 3, 2I cap, 3j cap, 2, this will complete, then 2j cap into 3j cap, j cap cross j cap is 0, so this term will become 0. Again that will be 0, so left it, so 2j minus 6k, 2 into 6 minus 12, j cross k, j cross k will be I cap Newton. So this will, so from this we can write 2 into 6k cap minus 12 plus j cap minus 12 I cap Newton. So by rearranging this, we will get, so from this you can write the magnetic force vector equal to 2 taking into 12 minus 2 into 12 minus 24 I cap plus 24 j cap plus 12 k cap Newton. This is the expression for net magnetic force acting on the charge. Okay, you understood? This is this cross this, so I can cross 2 cross 3j cap minus 6k cap plus 2j cap plus 3j cap minus 6k cap. So by I cross j will be how much? I cross j will be k, it will be 2 cross 3 6k cap, then 2 cross minus 6k cap, so 2 into 6 minus 6 or minus 12, then I cross k will be minus j again 2 into j 3j will be 0, then 2 cross minus 6 it will be minus 12, j cross k will be I cap. So this will be net resultant. If I have to calculate the magnitude of the magnetic force, it will be how much? 24 square plus 24 square plus 12 square under root. Clear? Okay. So this much Newton. If you want to solve this, it will become how much? 2 24 square plus 12 square under root. So it can be written as taking 12. This will become how much? 2 into 2 into 12 square plus 12 square root over. So taking 4, it will become 8. Into 12 square plus 12 square root over. This will become taking 12 square out of the root over. It will be 12 into root over of 9. 8 plus 1, 9. So this will be 36 Newton. Clear? So the net resultant force will be how much? 36 Newton. Okay, I am doing right. This will be 24 square. So this can be 2 into 12 square. So taking 2 out of the bracket will be 4 into 2, 8 into 12 square plus 12 square. So it will become 8. 12 square plus 12 square taking out of the square root, it will become 12 under root 8 plus 1. It will be 9, it will be 3, 12 plus 3, it will be 36 Newton. Okay. So now let's do another example. A charged particle of 2 coulomb having velocity 30 meter per second enters into a region of external magnetic field of 2 Tesla such that the angle between the direction of velocity vector and magnetic field strength vectors is 30 degree. Find the radius of the helix and the pitch of the helix. Okay, a charged particle of 2 coulomb having velocity 30 meter per second enters into a region of external magnetic field 2 Tesla, such that the angle between the direction of velocity vector and magnetic field strength vector is 30 degree. Find the radius of the helix and the pitch of the helix. So according to the question, if this is the direction of external magnetic field B vector, which is equal to 2 Tesla, then the charged particle enter into it like this. This is velocity vector and this is the angle that it makes along the direction of velocity vector is 30 degree. So now what will be the direction? It have two component. This will be V sin theta and along this direction it will be V cos theta. So here, and the path will be like this, helical. Here V equal to how much? 30 meter per second. Q equal to 2 coulomb, B equal to 2 Tesla and theta equal to 30 degree. So V sin theta is equal to how much? 30 into sin 30. This implies 30 into 1 by 2, that is 15 meter per second. V cos 30 is equal to 30 into cos 30 will be how much? Root 3 by 2. So 15 root 3 meter per second. So as we know, what is the value of pitch or radius of the helix RH equal to m v sin theta by qb. Okay, 2 coulomb, let here given 2 coulomb and mass 2 gram. Okay, mass of the charged particle is given as 2 gram. mv sin 30. So this will 2 gram. So 2 into 10 to the 3 minus 3 kg into what is v sin 30? 15 divided by qb. Q is 2 coulomb into v is 2 Tesla. So 2 will cancel. So this implies the radius of the helical path is 7.5 into 10 to the minus 3 meter. Clear? This is the expression for the radius of the helical path, as the formula gives us the radius of the helical path is mv sin theta by qb. Here m is given as 2 gram. So 2 into 10 to the minus 3 kg into v sin theta. What is v sin theta? 15 meter per second divided by q into b. Q is 2 coulomb, b is 2 Tesla. So 2 will cancel. 7.5 into 10 to the minus 3 meter. Now let us calculate what is the value of pitch. So pitch of helix is equal to v cos theta into time period t. So this implies pitch of helix equal to what is v cos theta? 15 root 3 and time period of helix will be 2 pi m by qb. 2 pi m by qb. So this implies pitch of helix equal to 15 root 3 into 2 pi is 3.14. M is here 2 gram. 2 into 10 to the minus 3 kg divided by 4. So 2 to 4 will cancel. So this can be written as pH equal to 15 root 3 into 3.14 into 10 to the minus 3 meter. By solving this, we will get by solving this we will get it will be 81.5 meter. Okay, this will be the expression for the pitch of the helical path or helix. This is the expression for radius of the helical path or helix. Okay. So now let's do another example. A charged particle Q is entered into an external magnetic field B is equal to B naught I cap, having velocity V vector equal to V naught J cap. Find the position of the charged particle as function of time if at t equal to 0 the particle is at origin. Okay, a charged particle Q is entered into an external magnetic field which is equal to B naught I cap. That means the external magnetic field along the direction of x-axis, positive x-axis, with a velocity V equal to V naught J cap, which is along the direction of positive y-axis. Then find the position of the charged particle as function of time if at time t equal to 0 the particle is at origin. Clear? So how we can solve it? So let us first draw the diagram. If this is a coordinate system, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and the z-axis will be three-dimensionally like this. Upward I am putting it here. So now if I rotate this coordinate system about this y-axis with 90 degree in anti-clockwise, then the x-axis will goes into the x-axis will be like this, y-axis is like this, and the z-axis will be like this. This is the coordinate system. This is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Generally we are taking like this. So now I am rotating this xy about y-axis, the coordinate system, with 90 degree like this. So the x-axis goes inward, the z-axis will be towards right. So for our convenience I am drawing the coordinate axis like this is y-axis, this is z-axis, and the x-axis is here. Positive x-axis into the plane. Okay, this x-axis into the plane. So as according to question, the magnetic field is along the positive x-axis. So the magnetic field over here will be inward. Okay, B naught value which is positive I cap, that is inward, and the velocity v naught j cap, that means the velocity of the charged particle. This is the origin 0 0, starts from here along this direction. This is v naught j cap. Okay, so as we know, here the direction of velocity and direction of magnetic field strength are perpendicular to each other. Velocity is along the plane of zy and the field strength is along x axis. That means there is a force acting on the moving charge q. Here is the moving charge q, acting on the moving charge q along perpendicular to it. So a charged particle q is enter into an external magnetic field b naught. So it have mass, charged particle q of mass m. Okay, this is your q having mass m, enter into along the y axis, and the field are acting perpendicular to it toward positive x axis. So it will experience a force when enter to the field, and the direction of force is always perpendicular to the velocity. That means the direction will act along this fm, along negative z axis, and the particle starts revolving in a circular path, making that this will be the center O dash, like this. Okay, as the velocity along y axis, force is magnetic field into the plane, so force is acting along this direction. We can get it by using right hand palm rule. This is the direction of velocity, this is the direction of magnetic field. So this will be the direction of magnetic force, is perpendicular to the instantaneous velocity v naught, for which the particle starts moving in a circular path, executing uniform circular motion, having radius. What will be the radius of the circular path? Radius r equal to m v naught by q b naught. This will be the radius of the circular path. So we have to find out the position of the charged particle as function of time. So as the particle starts revolving in the circular path and starts from origin here, so let at any instant of time the particle is at point P. This angle is somehow omega t. At any instant time t, the particle is at point P. By covering the angle is equal to how much? Omega t. This length is r, radius. So by projecting, this projection will be how much? R cos omega t, and the height, this much height will be how much? R sin omega t. Clear? I am writing here. This projection, this is r, this angle is omega t. So the projection OP, let this will be m. So OM here, OM, O dash m will be how much? R cos omega t, and PM equal to how much? This will be R sin omega t. So we have to calculate what? The position of the point charge particle at any instant of time t. At any instant of time t, the charge moves from point O. Initially it is at origin, at any instant of time t it is at point P. So what is the coordinate of point P? So for the coordinate of point P, this length will be OM, will be how much? R sin omega t. So the coordinate is along z axis, will be this much, origin to M. This will be the z coordinate and this will be the y coordinate. So along y z axis we can write the z coordinate for the point P will be how much? Minus, this is in negative x axis, minus this length is how much? R cos omega t. The total length is R, so this much length will be minus R cos omega t. K क्या? As opposite to the z axis, so this will be negative R minus R cos omega t will be, this is the coordinate. Clear? So minus R cos omega t will be the coordinate along z axis, and y axis coordinate will be this much. So this is the coordinate which is equal to PM. So along y along P will be how much? This is along positive y axis, that is equal to R sin omega t j cap. Okay, and we can easily calculate omega t. What is omega t? Omega equal to 2 pi m, sorry, qb by m by qb or qb by m. Omega equal to qb by m. So this implies omega t equal to qb by m into t. By putting the value of omega t here, we will get the position of the particle as a function of time t. Clear? Okay, so now we can solve this kind of numericals. So let's do another example. Here is a region having magnetic field into the plane. Like this. Okay. B naught is the strength of the magnetic field into the plane, and the magnetic field is enclosed by this much region. A charged particle Q entered to the magnetic field at an angle 30 with the horizontal. This angle is 30 degree with velocity v. Find up to how much time the charged particle will remain within the magnetic field. As the fields are into the plane, the velocity direction is like this, so the force, magnetic force acting on it will be along this direction, that will be perpendicular to this point. So the center O dash of the circular path will be like this, so the particle will revolve into the plane like this. Okay, clear? Or this will be like in a circular path like this. So we have to find out the time up to which, this is the radius r, time up to which the charged particle will move in the magnetic field, that will be this path only. Because after that there is no magnetic field, so the charged particle will not revolve along this direction. From this it will move tangentially. So the path up to which, the time period up to which the charged particle will move within or remain inside the magnetic field. So as this angle is 30 degree and this is the vertical, this the horizontal, so there will be this 90 degree, so this is 30, so this angle will be 60. And again, as the radius r is perpendicular to the direction of velocity, this angle again will be 90. If this much angle is 60, then this much angle will be 30. And I am drawing a perpendicular like this, taking up to this end. This is r, so this length is also r. This is 90, this angle is 90. If this is 30, this will be 60. Similarly, this angle again will be 60. Clear? So the complete angle from here to here, let it be O, let it be P. From O to P, the particle will remain within the magnetic field, and at P it will go tangential. So the total angle P O dash O is how much? 60 plus 60, 180, and this can be written as omega t. Here the angle O dash P is equal to 120 degree. So we can write omega t equal to 120 degree, or this implies 2 pi by t into t equal to 2 pi by 3. 120 can be written as 2 pi by 3. So this implies we can write the time up to which the charged particle remain within the magnetic field, t equal to 2 pi by 3 into t by 2 pi. 2 pi by 3 into t by 2 pi. 2 pi will cancel. So this implies the time up to which the charged particle will remain within the magnetic field equal to t by 3. What is the time period for revolution? As here the magnetic field strength is B naught, the velocity is V, the charge Q is traveling into the field having let the mass m is the mass of the charged particle. So time period is equal to t equal to 2 pi m by qb divided by 3. So this will be the time, this much second up to which the particle will remain inside the magnetic field, which is equal to 2 pi m by 3 qb or t by 3, where q is the charge quantity, b is the magnetic field strength, sorry here it will be b naught, mass is the mass of the particle, and 2 pi you know. So this much second the charge will remain within the magnetic field. Clear? Okay, so let's do another example. Here is a magnetic field of strength B naught which is acting upward out of the plane as the direction shows by the dot marks, and a charged particle of charge q and mass m enter into that region of magnetic field by making an angle 45 degree with the horizontal. So find the time up to which the charged particle will remain within the magnetic field. As here we can see the magnetic field strengths are along the direction of out of the plane, and the direction of velocity of the charge is like this. So the palm will shows the direction of magnetic force acting on the charged particle, which is perpendicular to the direction of velocity. So the charge force will be along this direction, Fm. So the charged particle will move in a circular path if this will be the center O dash. If this is the center O dash, the charged particle will revolve along this path, and from this it will goes away like tangential. So if this is the center O dash up to this end, the charged particle will move in a circular path like this. So we have to find out the time by which the charged particle cover this much path of the circular path. So as this angle is 45 degree here, this angle is 45 degree, this is horizontal, and this is the circular radius of the circular path. So this is the tangential direction of velocity. So the angle between the circular path and tangent will be 90 degree, and this is the horizontal which makes an angle how much, 45 degree, and this is perpendicular to the same vertical line. Clear? If this angle is 90, this angle is 45, then automatically this much angle will be how much, 45, because this angle is 45, the complete angle is 90, so this much angle will be 45. Again this angle plus this angle combined to 90, this much angle is 45, so this angle will be how much, 45. Similarly, if I draw a perpendicular 90 degree, this is R, this angle is 45, this angle is 90, so again this angle will be 45. Similarly R, this is R, this angle is 90, so again this angle will be 45. So the angle, let it be POQ, the angle POQ will be how much, 45 plus 45, 90 degree, that is pi by 2. So the total time up to which the charged particle will remain this much angle. This implies omega t will be given as 2 pi minus pi by 2. The complete angle is 2 pi. This is the angle except which the charge is remaining within the magnetic field. So if this will be omega t, then omega t equal to 2 pi minus pi by 2. This much angle, 2 pi minus pi by 2. So from this we can write omega will be 2 pi by t into t equal to 2 pi minus pi by 2. So 2 pi by t into t will be 3 pi by 2. So pi cancel. So t will be 3t by 4. So this implies t can be written as 3 by 4 in place of t, 2 pi m by qb. So this is the expression for the time interval up to which this much second. Time interval up to which the charge particle will remain inside the magnetic field. Clear? So we can solve these questions now. If the time period is asking up to which a charge particle moving in a region of magnetic field will remain inside the magnetic field. Clear? Now let's do another example. If there is a region of width t carries magnetic field into the plane of strength B naught, a charge particle enter into the region horizontally with velocity v naught. So as the direction of velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, your charge particle starts revolving in a circular path. Here r is greater than t, that means the circular arc about which the charge moving. This is the direction of velocity, this will be magnetic field. So according to right hand thumb rule, if this is the direction of velocity, this is magnetic field, the force will act along this direction, and let here this will be the magnetic force acting along this direction, this will be the radius r, and here let this point be O, this will be P. Here OP, radius r of the circular path, is greater than t. That means if the charge particle want to rotate in a circular path, it goes like this, and from this point it will goes tangential along this direction, because beyond this region there is no magnetic field to rotate it. Clear? So now we have to find the deviation of the charge particle. This is the initial direction of the charge particle, and this is the tangential final direction of the charge particle. So we have to calculate this angle theta, the deviation of the charge particle. As this angle is theta, if I draw a line parallel to the direction of V naught, similarly this angle will become theta, as these two lines are parallel, and this is the tangent. This is the tangent which is drawn to this arc at this point. So this angle is theta, this angle will be theta, and this is the radius r. So the tangent makes 90 degree with the radius r. This angle is theta, this is the vertical and this is the horizontal. So this much angle will be how much? The complete angle, this much angle is 90. This only angle, this much angle is theta. So what about the angle? 90 minus theta. As radius is perpendicular to the tangent, so the complete angle, this angle is 90. This is 90 minus theta. So this much angle will be how much? Theta. I am drawing a perpendicular like this. Okay. This is T and this complete length is R. This angle is theta. So what is sine theta? equal to P by H. So in this right angle triangle OMN, in right angle triangle OMN, this is theta. Sin theta will P by H. P equal to T, H equal to R. So sin theta equal to T by R. So from this we can get the angle of deviation, theta equal to sin inverse T by R. T is given and R can be calculated as mv naught by qv naught. Clear? This is the velocity v naught, this is the strength of b naught, and mass of the charge is given as m. So R will be how much, mv naught by qv naught. So the deviation can be calculated by sin inverse T by R, where T is the thickness of the magnetic field region. If T is greater than R, then the particle will not move tangentially. It complete a circular path like this, and at this point again it will deviate along this direction. Here it will not move tangentially, it will again return to the path and again return to this segment. Then we have to find out the magnet deviation at this point. If here R is less than T, so the path will be like this. This is understood, this is the theta case. What is the value of theta? If R is less than T, this is the region, magnetic field act like this. A charge particle enter and R is less than T, so it will move like this and goes like this. So now what will become? The deviation will be 180 degree. Clear? So these are some numericals based upon the application of magnetic force acting on a moving charge in an external magnetic field. In next class we will discuss some more concepts regarding the magnetic fields of electric current. Okay, thank you.